She recorded one of the most famous songs of all time, and her husky, raspy voice was deemed by experts as unparalleled. One of her biggest fans wanted to steal her husband, and she's the only artist who performed during a real total eclipse. Did you know that one of the world's most famous songs, performed by another great singer, had also been recorded by her? This is a tribute to Bonnie Tyler and her career, marked by major hits that influenced a generation. Her real name is Gaynor Hopkins. She was born in Wales on June 8, 1951, into a music-loving family. Her father, Glynd Hopkins, worked in coal mines, while her mother, Yellis Hopkins, was part of the church choir and instilled a great passion for opera and music in general in her children. Besides the future singer, her parents had 5 more children, 2 boys and 3 girls. Music played on an old phonograph in the family home before dawn and continued until night. The young girl's favorite artists were Tina Turner and Janis Joplin, and she spent her days singing. After completing her formal education, she started working at a local grocery store and later as a cashier at a supermarket. At 17, she participated in a local talent contest, singing songs by Mark. Although she didn't win first place, she secured the second spot and felt truly happy performing in front of an audience. The prize she won was just a few coins, but for her, it represented the awakening of a dream. She realized she definitely wanted to pursue music professionally. Not long after, in late 1969, she joined the group Bobby Wayne. As a backing vocalist for a few years in the group, she decided to change her stage name to Shireen Davis, combining the names of her niece and favorite aunt. Under this name, she formed her own band called Imagination and started performing in bars and clubs across South Wales, achieving moderate success locally. On July 14, 1973, at the age of 22, she married Robert Sullivan, a real estate broker and former judo Olympic athlete representing England in the 1972 Olympics. 2 years later, during a performance with Imagination, she had her big break when Roger Bell, a talent scout in the music industry, heard excellent reviews about her. Roger walked into a bar where Gore's band was performing at that moment and was impressed by the singer's voice. Without hesitation, he invited her to London to record some demos. A few months later, RCA Records expressed interest in signing a contract with her but suggested she change her stage name to something more catchy. Raised in a family with deep faith in the Protestant Church, she made a list of names taken from the Bible in English and chose Bonnie Tyler by the end of 1975. In her first single, My Honeycomb, recorded in late 1975, despite the high quality of the music, it went almost unnoticed. However, a few months later, in September 1976, she released Lost in France, which became her first major hit, quickly selling over 250,000 copies and staying on the UK charts for 10 weeks. Everything seemed like a dream for Gaynor, who couldn't believe the success of the song. However, during the recordings, something terrible happened that could have ended her career. She noticed her voice had slightly changed and felt discomfort in her throat. After medical consultations, she discovered large nodules on her vocal cords, requiring urgent surgery. After the operation, her doctor ordered her to stay silent for several weeks for better recovery, but it was impossible. Her voice changed, becoming permanently husky. Initially, the singer cried and suffered, believing her career was over. However, that husky, raspy voice would become her trademark, being compared to famous singers like Rod Stewart or Joe Cocker. Thanks to her success, Bonnie Tyler was nominated for Best British Newcomer Artist in 1977. Later, she released a new single called More Than a Lover, which was censored due to its lyrics, affecting its progress on the charts but still reaching the top 30 in the UK on November 4, 1977. With her new voice, she released It's a Heartache in early 1978, becoming her first major international success, reaching top positions on charts in the UK, US, Germany, France, and Australia, and being popular in Spain and Latin America. This song was part of the album Natural Force, which also included tracks like Heaven and Here Am I. Although her subsequent albums didn't enjoy much success between 1977 and 1981, Bonnie Tyler released 4 albums. The singer was increasingly uncomfortable with the direction of her career, noticing the lack of success and promotion in her recent works with RCA Records. When her contract expired, she chose not to renew it and sought a new direction. Noticing the huge success of singer Meat Loaf, who worked with American producer Jim Steinman, she decided to approach him for collaboration, signing a new contract with Columbia Records. The first songs Steinman prepared for Bonnie were Have You Ever Seen the Rain, Credence, and Going Through the Motions, which were well received and revitalized the singer's image. In 1982, Steinman wrote and produced the biggest hit of her career, one of the most famous songs not only of the 80s but of all time, the powerful ballad Total Eclipse of the Heart. This international hit topped charts in the US, Australia, Canada, and the UK. At the peak of her success, the single sold 80,000 copies a day, totaling around 8 million copies, becoming one of the most successful songs of all time. This song solidified Bonnie as a superstar and had a memorable music video directed by Australian filmmaker Russell Mulcahy, known for directing Highlander. Interestingly, Jim Steinman originally offered this song along with Making Love Out of Nothing at All to be included in one of Meat Loaf's albums. However, Meat Loaf's record label refused to pay royalties to Steinman, so he offered these songs to Bonnie Tyler and Air Supply. This initial work with Jim Steinman was the most successful of her career. 1984 was one of the best years for Bonnie Tyler. She was nominated and invited to perform Total Eclipse of the Heart at the Grammy Awards, causing a great sensation due to its popularity at the time. She was also invited to represent the UK at the prestigious Eurovision Song Contest and sing a song for the James Bond film Never Say Never Again, but she declined both invitations, arguing that the songs weren't good enough. Interestingly, Bonnie Tyler also didn't believe that Total Eclipse of the Heart would be such a huge success. The song Never Say Never Again, which she turned down for the James Bond movie, was then performed by Lonnie Hall. Also in 1984, Bonnie Tyler recorded Here She Comes, written by the renowned Giorgio Moroder, for the 1984 version of the sci-fi film Metropolis. The song was nominated for the 1985 Grammy in the Best. In 1984, Tyler released another of her most iconic songs, Holding Out for a Hero, included in the soundtrack of the famous film Footloose. The song topped the charts in major music markets. After the success of the movie, the track was included on Bonnie Tyler's 6th album, titled Secret Dreams and Forbidden Fire, which also featured a great song called If a Woman, written and produced by Jay Steinman. Interestingly, Desmond Child stated that, unsatisfied with the lyrics of the song, he rewrote it, turning it into You Give Love a Bad Name, a huge hit in the voice of Bon Jovi. In 1988, Bonnie Tyler released her 7th album, Hide Your Heart. Although the album didn't stand out in sales, several of its songs became major hits when performed by other artists. For instance, the title track, Hide Your Heart, was a big success for the rock band Kiss in 1989. Additionally, the song The Best became an international hit for Tina Turner in 1989. In the same year, Tyler performed at the historic Reading Festival, joining artists like Meat Loaf and Jefferson Starship. However, her participation was marked by an unprecedented and uncomfortable situation. Many attendees disagreed with the inclusion of pop music at the festival and started throwing bottles and chemical bombs in her direction. Incredibly, Tyler stood her ground and managed to finish her set. Unfortunately, Meat Loaf wasn't as fortunate and had to leave the stage after being hit by a bottle on the head. From the 1990s onwards, Bonnie Tyler's popularity declined in the UK and the US, leading her to move to Germany, where she released several albums that had moderate success in countries like Norway, Austria, Sweden, and Switzerland. Recognized for her versatility, she recorded in English, Spanish, French, and Italian, and collaborated with artists from different genres. In 2000, Bonnie Tyler sang at the wedding of actors Catherine Zeta-Jones and Michael Douglas, performing her famous song Total Eclipse of the Heart. In 2013, she represented the UK in the Eurovision Song Contest with the song Believe in Me. Her all-time favorite song is Tina Turner's River Deep Mountain High. She regrets not having children, as she postponed it for the future, and when she decided, at 39, health complications prevented her from conceiving. In 2014, she experienced a major disappointment when she discovered that her husband of 5 decades, Robert Sullivan, was cheating on her with one of her closest fans, Megan Purnell. Bonnie Tyler continues her tireless musical career. Her latest work, Between the Earth and the Stars, released in 2019, didn't reach top positions on the charts, but she leads a comfortable life with over 20 properties worldwide, including lands in New Zealand, Portugal, and the UK. She also dedicates herself to charitable causes, supporting the fight against cancer, animal abuse campaigns, and aiding disadvantaged children worldwide. This is a tribute to the unforgettable Bonnie Tyler. Share in the comments your favorite song from this 80s diva.